Hello, this is Tarot Time with Laveau, and it is currently the time for tarot. Oh boy, I don't think that was like what the last whole like introduction was, but we're trying new things. Where I've have like a new system I'm gonna try with this. Like I decided like notes and structures and also yada yada yada, all that bullshit. But hi. Welcome back to Tarot Time with Laveau. I'm here to give you a reading for February to set you on your way, set you on course, see if this might be what you're looking for, if this is some bit of advice that you might need, or if this will help put you in a direction that is for your highest good. If you enjoy, or like if you feel connected to it, then I'm encouraging you to stay. And if you don't, at any point in this video, you are free to leave. I'm not holding you hostage. Anyways, on to the reading. So, quickly, before we get into the reading, I just want to inform you of how I usually read and like what the structure is going into this, you know? Um, Usually I pull cards in different sections. You have theme cards, message cards, call to action cards, and then you have an incentive to action cards. These kind of just like go as you would expect. Call to action, basically the reason that you're being pushed in this direction. Your theme cards are like the theme of the reading. Your incentive to action is like the little reward you might get or like the promised outcome. Not really promised, but like the hopeful outcome for going in this direction. Oh yeah, and the message cards are as said on the box concerning your message. So yeah. Onto your theme cards. Okay, so here's first and foremost, you have the Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups sideways, the Empress sideways, and the Knight of Wands. So initially when I had pulled these, or well, as you're gonna see, I'm gonna have like my little demonstration of what they look like. So I had thought at first that this was an either or situation, but given the theme and what I later like encountered during the reading, it's not really like an either or situation. It's a take some time to explore these different paths. You know, the energies that are being tapped into this month appear to be about like succession, not succession, success and passion, right? It's encouraging you to stop and smell the flowers. You have more in your corner than you really see. And, you know, you should take some time to appreciate what you've done and see where you can go with it. You're being guided to see new paths in your journey that you might like to take, and you're encouraged to take the ones or the one that will make you the happiest or like bring you some inspiration and excitement. This is not really an either or energy. As I said before, you're kind of just allowed to explore which one of these options you want, you know? I'm getting the feeling that you're going to be presented with a lot of options and a lot of good ones at that, or at least a lot of options that you have that might be like putting you in choice paralysis, which is like a thing with ADHD. If you don't know, it's when you as a person with ADHD are presented with a lot of potential actions that you could take, but you are stuck in the paralysis of not knowing which one you want to engage with first, and you're kind of caught in this little loop of being put and like stuck there trying to figure it out. So you're just like there knowing you have shit to do and knowing that you could get started on any one of these, but you're just really trying to figure it out. And instead of looking like you're distraught and figuring out all this, you're just there slumped mentally processing it. It can look a lot like procrastination, but it's really not. It feels like you might be in like a little bit of a choice paralysis, and you're being encouraged to like explore your options rather than to like get stuck looking at them, right? With that said, let's move on to your message. Okay, so for your message cards, you have the Six of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Three of Wands reversed, the Eight of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the Five of Wands, the Eight of Wands, the Star, the Chariot, and Judgment. So I feel as though this one correlates to the Six of Pentacles, where you may feel like you're at a place of balance, and it kind of comes in combination with the Seven of Pentacles, where you've worked hard to get here and you feel more in control of yourself. But with the Three of Wands, I think you might be acting conservative about your work. You're not giving yourself room to grow, and instead you're procrastinating. Perhaps with this, like, Eight of Pentacles, because usually that's like you have an image of a guy working on like storing away these pentacles and all that. I think in this case, you're not giving yourself room to grow and you're instead procrastinating, either from the earlier choice paralysis or like because you're trying to perfect your craft or get something just right for a particular moment you're waiting on, you know? It's like you're looking for a sign, I think, or you're looking for the right moment to move in on a particular subject. What you're being asked to do, right, from the King of Swords, as I can see here, is that you're being asked to look at what you've done and consider your perspectives before coming to a clear-cut decision about something or like a mindset. The King of Swords is usually symbolic of a man of authority. And again, I'm going to clarify, I don't really think this is a man. I don't think these cards are men or women. I kind of just see them as like not gendered, but really that's what's on the card. And in this case, it doesn't really have to apply to you being a man. Again, gender fuckery. Just stick with me on this, okay? So with the King of Swords, you yourself are being asked to like sit down and consider with your newfound balance and authority all the perspectives at your disposal. You are within a place where you're somewhat like comfortable, not really comfortable in the sense of you're being rich or anything. Although if you are, good for you. But you're like at a point where you have some time for yourself and you can like stop and think. So you're being asked to like consider really and truly what it is that you're looking for, what it is that you want with for all of this. Kind of ties back into like the previous theme cards, the Knight of Wands. You're looking for an option that might most energize you or would help you feel more passionate about something, you know? Whether this is like in your work or a decision or love or something. I don't know. Something here, it needs you to like sit down and introspect and like look into your mind's little eye and figure out, okay, here's what I have. Here's what I can do. What do I want to do about it? What is it I'm looking for and what is it I want, right? That's what you're being asked to do. You kind of have all the answers you're already looking for. You just need to trust yourself in knowing what you want to do, right? With the Five of Wands, I think that trust is going to be tested, however, since you may find some debates around this mindset or like this thing that you want that's either going to come from outside voices or internal voices. I usually think that from a King of Swords aspect, you should consider your internal before you consider your external. So maybe check in with yourself, see if this is like your internal debate, think it through for yourself, and once you've like come to your decision, stick with it. Don't be foolhardy and don't try to rush into things and be stubborn. The King of Swords does ask you to like consider what everyone else is saying, but while you're considering it, that doesn't mean you run with what everyone else is saying. You take all the advice you've heard, consider it for yourself, and see which option you go for. This might be the Five of Wands is like whole debate theming around this message, but it could also be external, where some people might see what this like whole new thing that you're trying to go for is, and they might disagree with that. And that's okay. Sometimes people disagree with your actions, and all due respect, sometimes it is good for you to listen, but other times, who gives a fuck, right? You can't listen to everyone and go with the wind all the time. You gotta go with what's in your gut, right? And this is gonna be tested, you know? You're being asked to look at your opposition and consider what they're saying, but to make choices that you want for yourself. Not everything they have to say is for your best good or for like your highest good, if we're being technical with that term. Now, the energy feels like you'll be going against the grain a lot. But as I said before, sometimes the grain doesn't really know you like that. So you gotta do what's best for you. However, it's asking you to make your decision quickly, but it's not asking you to rush, right? It's asking you to consider it, but come to this decision for yourself quickly because low key, it's had enough of your procrastination. This choice paralysis or anything that you're going on, this whole pause you've been going through, it's done. It's like, no, you've had enough. We're not waiting here forever. You got to make up your mind. Got to get to doing something, right? The sooner you make up your mind and get into gear is the sooner that you'll act and the sooner that you'll see some change, you know? We like to think that we have all the time in the world, and, you know, we kind of do. I'm not going to ever tell you don't have all the time in the world, but you can't pause and expect things to get better when you're not doing anything. I fear you're going to have to like do something to like make it make sense, right? If you want to see change, you got to do something to like make the change happen, you know? With the star, it seems that this risk that you're looking to take, or this risky sort of mindset, or like whatever decision that you're going on, that's gonna be like against what everyone else is advising, or against what is like you're comfortable with. This one thing, whatever it is that isn't the most favored option, does seem to be like the way that you break free of a norm that's gonna light a new way for you that you hadn't seen before. The star is always like this thing that's out in the distant that you like have to follow. And I feel as though that maybe this option of breaking from the norm is what's gonna help you. Again, you'll have the opposition and you might have people being like, I don't think that's an option you should be taking. It doesn't seem like well advised. And other people's point of view, as we've established before, kind of useful, not their life though. It's your life. In this case, it seems like you have an internal goal or an internal sort of inspiration that is going to lead you towards what this hope is you have. And you're being asked to like look at that hope and follow it, you know? So yeah, this is a journey that you have set yourself on once you've made this decision, right? And with the Chariot, it seems like there's going to be some movement in that. You know, you, as I said before, this is like a journey, and all journeys require you to like stay a course, to follow that. So once you've made up your decision and once you've picked a direction, you've got to move in it. There's going to be its ups and downs. You're going to hit like a rock in the road sometimes, but you're being asked to follow through with what it is that you've stuck onto, you know? And at the end of it, you're going to find some change. And the sooner you act on that, as I said before, is the sooner you'll get to that change. This change seems like you're going to go through a little bit of a transformation, or like a hero's journey. You know, a lot of this theming that I have is set around the hero's journey as a writing system. And it seems that this February, you're embarking on one for yourself in a certain aspect. Now, overall, this seems to be a period of transition where you're reckoning with the old and letting yourself get settled with something new. There's always bound to be some sort of strife and struggle because you have to get a little bit uncomfortable, but it helps. And it'll be helping to put to bed things that you've been wrestling with in the past and give you some inspiration to chase after something that has been in your field of vision, but you kind of like got smirched out of your way, or like it was blurry. You couldn't really see what you wanted. And so with this reading, you're being encouraged to sit down, see all that you have, appreciate what you've done, but be ready to move and to look at all the advice from around you, take in all those perspectives, and decide for yourself what you want. With that in mind, once you've decided, you make a point to just go for it, right? Go for it and stick to your guns. Because at the end of it, you may find yourself coming out of this entire journey as a new person. I'm not going to promise you the world, but at the same time, I usually like to believe that the world is yours for the taking, so it's up to you what you want to do with that. Now you've got your message, but you might be wondering, Laveau, this is quite the plot you've strung up. Why the fuck should I do any of this? And you know that's fair. You can't really expect your protagonist to go on a journey without wanting something, right? Or like without being pushed into it. And as every protagonist has a motivation, they kind of have to have an outside pressure, or at least a call to action. And that's where our call to action cards come in. So you have the World, the Nine of Swords sideways, the Knight of Swords, and the Queen of Swords, as well as the Two of Swords reversed. So a lot of this seems to be more of like, I feel as though this might be like a worldly pressure, or like you being at a place in the world where you have to come to a point of like, I need to make up my mind on something. So that's your call of action from just like an initial glance. However, to get more into it, it seems like you're either feeling fulfilled or you're at a place where you're ready to step into your hot girl era. But that requires you doing something a little outside of your comfort zone, you know? This may worry you a lot, even scare you, you know? Because I'm not gonna be that bitch and tell you that you're gonna be fine all the time. The Nine of Swords is there for a reason, and it's connecting you to these other outcomes. But you kind of have to go through the transition to make it work. This is going to be outside your comfort zone. It's going to scare you, but you're being encouraged to take that path forward because, you know, bravery is in spite of the fear and never in the absence of it. And you're going to have to be a little brave here. However, that Knight of Swords and that Queen of Swords is saying that you have to move with a clear mind and with clear boundaries for yourself. You're going to have the mindset to do it if you seek it out, right? If you have to be a cold bitch to do it, then you're gonna have to do it. But you have like the ability for it, and you should go for it. Now, this may seem like you're throwing yourself into confusion though, and you may have to make a decision at some point that will cause some fear and will seem like, well, you're uneasy, that you might not have all the right answers, or this might not be a right decision. But this energy does seem to read as being in your favor to experiment. This is not really an end goal situation. This is more of a look around and play with what you have. You have a bunch of bricks at your disposal, and you're being encouraged to see which brick you want to use to build this proverbial Lego castle. Finally, your incentive to action, which is the Hierophant reversed and the Three of Cups. Now, the Hierophant, when it's upright, is usually symbolic of generally predisposed knowledge of your elders, conformity, tradition, all that you already know to be true. But with this one in reverse, it's you relying on yourself and relying on your gut feeling. Again, it's intuition, but not intuition that comes from an informed place. It's intuition coming from an emotion or from what you know to be right. You'll be going against the grain with this one, but with the Three of Cups being present, it feels like you're going to be given some like favor at the end of this. Like this, how do I put it? Like you defying the expectation and the norms is going to lend to you making new connections or finding more reasons to celebrate. Or it might even lead to a celebration of you doing something or finding success because you didn't stick to what everyone else was doing. And sometimes you need that. You need to like go against what everyone else thinks is normal in order to do something that really pops the fuck off. Now, you're being encouraged to take this risk because really, I feel as though with that whole card in the beginning of the message where it was like the Six of Pentacles, yeah, the Six of Pentacles, you are at a place where it's that you want a little more than that, right? And in that case, I think this is going to be something where the incentive is more of a change or like a new celebration, a personal transformation or personal work and personal rewards. Jesus. But yeah, you have to go against what is expected of you. And in doing so, you'll get something more than what you're usually accustomed to. You already have this sense of conformity about you. And that's good because conformity, while not good to be comfortable with, does give you some edge into getting into a place that you need to. So, while that is good that you have it, you're being called to break it and to go against everything that you already know and to try something new, try something that calls to you. And out of it, you may find personal transformation, as I keep bringing up, or you may find maybe something new that you can really flourish in. The world is yours. It's your oyster. You get to take the little pearls out of it whenever you want. So I'm encouraging you to do that. If it works to your best, of course. And that is the reading. This felt a lot shorter to do, but it's really good that I got to get this done with you guys. I hope this message does something for you. I hope that you've gained some clarity and that this applies to your situation. And if it does, then I hope that what I've said resonates and that it gives you something to work with. I know that you can feel lost sometimes when you're not really focused and like when you have so much going on for you. So it's good to have like advice that you can at least follow and consider and see what you can work with. This has been Tarot Time with Laveau. I have been Laveau. It has been great to have you. I hope to see you guys around in the next time we have one of these, probably around March. Anyways, bye-bye.